I think I have something that'll fix this. I believe that done it. Okay, the story behind this car is I got another Mustang 2010 convertible with a bad engine. I was asking around. A gentleman told me about this Marauder. I bought this thing sight unseen. Didn't know nothing about the car other than it was low mileage and it was crashed. The motor did run after the crash, but then the car was parked. It had been parked for 8 years in a barn. I bought the car, went and picked it up 3 months later after I bought it. Never even opened the hood, just loaded it on the trailer, brought it home. When I got home with it, I opened the hood and found that. The guy that sold me the car said he believed the computer was taken out of it. Well, it still had the computer in it with the tune for the supercharger and everything. The only thing that was missing was the mass airflow sensor. Now, the mass airflow sensor cost me almost as much as the car did. But by the time I got my hands on this car, I already had the 2010 convertible running. So I found another Mustang to put this engine and transmission in. We're gonna see how it turns out. I'm not a Ford fan, mostly Chevrolets, but I have done a few Fords, and I thought this would be fun, and I thought I'd bring you all with me. All right. Let's get diving into this thing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off all this cowl, windshield wiper and stuff. I can't really film all this and work, so I'll tear it apart and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, we got that junk out of the way. We can see more here. It must have had a boost gauge on it at one time. Hose was cut. I didn't see one in the car. I do know it runs. I've driven the car. We're going to tear more of this stuff off. Get back with you in a few minutes. Okay, we've been going at this thing a while now. Got a bunch of stuff tore off of it. I'm marking things and tagging things because I don't know how long it's going to be before I put it back together. Hopefully pretty quick. Some of this will go with the engine, some of it won't. That's for your wipers. You know, somebody else may be looking for this stuff. I'll put whatever's left up for sale or something like that. Here's where your computer is. It unplugs right here, goes in that way. I was actually digging around in here and pulling the throttle cable out, and I found this. That's the computer wrapped in tinfoil. They've got a noise filter over here. I don't know if that was for a stereo or what. But they had extra grounds all over this thing. Here's one. It runs over here to the alternator. Here's another one. Runs over here by the valve cover. It was over to the fender. There was an amp ground along with the factory grounds. Yeah, and those were all added on probably whenever the supercharger was added on. I don't know if they was having noise problems with the computer and stereo or what was going on there. Guess we'll have to figure out that in the future. Okay, we're back. Got some more of this tore off. A lot of people probably be asking right now, why are you tearing it apart like that? Well, it's just easier. This right here is your computer harness where it starts. That harness runs all the way down the inside of the fender. Over here, that's your ABS, fan, mass airflow sensor. That same harness runs over here. That's your headlights. That's your sensor for your airbag. That's your horns. That's your other side headlights. The fuse block over here. That whole engine harness runs all the way around the front of this car. Okay, next thing I'm going to tackle is this harness where it runs over here. I'm going to just go ahead and get it all out. I'm going to get it and pull it out of this floorboard, chase it down in there a little bit. I'm not going to chase it very far. But before I do, I'm going to have to suck some of that out because I'm not laying in that crap. That's 8 years of under a barn and birds and critters, and yeah, I don't like things that crawl or bite or anything like that. So we're going to get old Snuffleupagus and suck the junk out of the floorboard, crawl in there and pull that wiring harness out. We'll get back to you. Well, okay, me and Snuffy got tangled up. I got the junk sucked out of there. But then I decided to just throw the whole harness over in here instead of cutting that for right now. I'm going to get some wiring diagrams and see exactly what that is and if I'm going to need any of it. But it runs way under the dash. This comes out of the firewall, plugs into this, and goes right back into the firewall. They're just right next to each other. So, we're going to move on from that. Cut these off, unhook that. I'm going to bring a tool to unhook the fuel line, Sawzall, a few other things from work. After work tomorrow. And we'll see what we can get knocked out tomorrow. Okay, here it is tomorrow. But I'm bringing you in at the end of the day. Just because it's the way it worked out. It don't look like I've got much done. But I got the coolant all drained out of it and everything. Heater core unhooked. Motor mounts, everything's it's ready to come out. My lifting situation is what we're dealing with right now, and it's late and I've worked all day and then came home to work some more, and we're just gonna go and come back to this tomorrow. All right, it's tomorrow again. I was supposed to have help yesterday, didn't have any help. Supposed to have some help today. We're gonna see what they show up. got to help the boy pull the motor out of his truck, but he's going to have to help me pull the motor out of this thing. And then get it out of the shop so we can get his in here and get the motor out of it. Oh, look. He decided to show up. Say hi, Isaiah. Hi. All right. Well, we're going to get something figured out. We'll bring you back in a minute when we do. Asked this kid if he wanted a creeper. He says he's too big for a creeper. So he just wiggles in there. I told him he's too big for his own shirt. He's pulling drive shaft out. I've got to plug the stick in it so we don't pour transmission fluid everywhere, because that stuff's the next worst thing next to antifreeze, and I hate antifreeze. We'll bring you back as we're coming out. Well, we got that one out. It's huge. I may have wasted some power steering lines, but that'll probably be fine. I don't think I broke anything else, so hopefully we don't have to buy much. Now we've got this thing in here. And we're going to pull this one out. Somebody blowed his motor up. But his buddy actually showed up. He might help him today. I don't know. Look at what this kid's working with. We're going to have to start calling him Sparky here in a minute. What is up, Jeffrey? Work it, son. Work it.
Oh, man. Loosen him in.
There you go. Good job.
You don't got to
break that. Now we need to pull the hood off so we get some light underneath this hood. We'll get back with you.